Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hi, I'm Jason with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Join Jason and Justin back in the green room as they talk with some of their favorite folks from the entertainment industry. And now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Pollock. Hi, I'm Jason. That's it. I'm without my co-host today. He's just behind the scenes. So thank you, Justin, for all your help. And I'm just going to take care of some quick housekeeping. Remember, you could find out everything that's going on with Hi, I'm Jason and me and my co-host Justin Gonzalez on Facebook.com/Jason and Justin right here on the screen. Justin's working his magic. And let me think of the Twitch, because Justin does all this. I should know it, but I'm the worst. Twitch.tv/Hi, I'm Jason Pete. On Twitch and on YouTube, we're at SuperJpo711. You could search Hi, I'm Jason on YouTube. You could definitely do that too. And don't forget to check out our digital tip jar, as we call him Phil the tip jar, on Venmo, Jason-Pollock-2, so we could start paying our guests. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have vocalized that great. Now they're going to want to get paid. Oh my God, Justin, I ruined it. I made it weird. Don't worry, we're not even monetized. It's okay. I'm making it weird. And joining us today, I'm very excited. The nerd in me is really geeking out today. First off, I'm going to bring out a special guest, the host of the podcast, The Hungry Trilobite. Please welcome Aaron Bossig.
Hey, Jason. Thank you so much for having me here.
Aaron, thank you. And thank you for introducing me to our guest.
It is my honor, and I can't say enough how much I'm glad to be on the screen with her again as well.
Oh, that's great. Hey, you know what? Let's give you a quick plug. Where can we find The Hungry Trilobite?
You can find The Hungry Trilobite anywhere podcasts are sent. That is YouTube, Apple, Google, Spotify, Podbean, your platform of choice, you can find them there.
I think that's wonderful. Let's hit another round of applause for our studio audience for Aaron Bossig and The Hungry Trilobite. I hope you were comfortable in the green room, the virtual green room. We had some virtual sushi and everything set up for you. I hope it was acceptable.
It's a little drafty, but it's okay.
Drafty. That's usually how I like my sushi, is drafty. All right. At the risk of making it even more weird, first of all, I am geeking out because as a Mystery Science Theater fan, to have someone on the show like this is a real treat for me. We've had authors and comedians and Bruce Valanche and all kinds of people. But this one is special because she's a big part of pop culture history. If you're a fan of Manos, Hands of Fate, and Mystery Science Theater, please welcome the little girl, Jackey Neyman Jones. Thank you for being here, Jackey.
Thank you for inviting me, and nice to see you again, Aaron.
Good to see you.
Oh my God, is that a cat behind you?
Oh, I have to introduce you to Misty. She's a kitten that my kids got me for my birthday in July. My sweet dog Shanka that I'd had for 13 years died in March. And they got me this kitty, and I reached out to the Mystery Science Theater fans to help me name her, and her name is Misty.
That's brilliant.
Nice, I know, right? I think so too.
Misty is
she's
adorable.
Pretty awesome. She's a great cat.
I love the color of her fur. It's really cool. If this is
for
those of you listening to this audio.
She's almost tech looking. She's like she's more like digitized, spotted rather than stripes. I think she's just perfect.
It's perfect for the Misty culture. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I look, I didn't get a chance to watch the new Manos movies, but can I start at the beginning?
Let's start wherever you like.
Let's do it. Now, how did Manos? For those of you who haven't seen Manos, Aaron, how would you describe this film?
I try not to, because part of the charm of it is just dunking yourself into it and figuring out what you're seeing. But I mean, not to step on Jackie's toes, but it's this. It was one of the first giant independent films before independent films could ever be a thing. It was a movie made on a dare by a Texas fertilizer salesman, and I'm looking at one of the stars of it right now, and somebody who, like you said, she's part of pop culture history and didn't even plan to be that way.
No, you were. How old were you when you did Manos?
It was the summer that I turned 7 years old.
Oh my
So
god!
I was 6 when it began. Yeah. And I was 7 at the premiere, which, by the way, and I know this is not live, but we're recording this on the 15th of November, and that's the same day of the 1966 premiere, the disaster premiere in El Paso, Texas.
Now, why would you call it a disastrous premiere?
Well, you've seen the movie, right?
I was being polite, but yeah. There was no Mystery Science Theater riffing back in 1966 when it premiered.
No, in fact, the premiere was so bad that, and none of us knew. I mean, Hal Warren, who created the film, he put it together so quickly, and none of the actors really saw a whole lot of it before the premiere. It just happened so quickly. I mean, think about it. It was filmed in like 2 weeks in the summer of 1966 on nights and weekends, and then it was edited and finished and premiered in November. I mean, how many people get a film done that fast? Not many.
After seeing it, there's a reason.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
undoubtedly. But so none of us had, I mean, we all knew it wasn't going to be a good movie. I mean, we all knew that, but we just really had no idea. And so my parents and I, we sat 5th row center just, to make sure that I could see. And a lot of the cast and crew were huddled around us. And when the film started, we were just trapped. We couldn't leave. I mean, the master couldn't get up and walk out, So we had to wait till the end, and everybody kind of slunk out of there. And the local entertainment writers and the cultural writers in the local newspapers were big fans of my dad because of his time in the local theater there.
And your dad was the master, right?
He was the master, yeah. And he did a lot of lead roles in the local theater there. In fact, in 1966, the year Manos was made, my dad played the role of King Henry IV in the play Henry IV. And he won Best Actor of the Year award in 1966. And I wish I could find it. I have it around here somewhere, but I have the actual award. It's kind of like an Oscar.
How cool is that?
I know.
I mean, just because the movie wasn't good, it doesn't mean he couldn't act. I've been in plenty of movies.
Well, yeah, and John Reynolds, who played Torgo, he was a pretty good actor too. But they were stage actors, they were theater actors, and people who know about acting, it's just a different method than film.
Did you know? This is true. Did you know when Mystery Science Theater did it? Did you have any idea they were going to riff on that, or did you just discover it by chance?
Oh yeah, I love that story. So I grew up, and like I said, the cast and crew kind of slinked out of the theater, and the entertainment writers for the local newspapers were big fans of my dad and some of the other actors, and they were very, very kind to say, just pretty much not write about it. You know, you're not going to find articles about that, because they were fans of my dad and they didn't, well, you know, tight-knit community. And then it just disappeared. The theater that was showing it for the premiere canceled the rest of the planned 2-week run. I don't know what they put in place of it, but they did not show it after that night. And then it just disappeared. It was gone, and nobody really talked about it. You know, everybody just wanted it to go away. And so I grew up remembering this summer spending time with my dad and the only kid on set and being able to stay up late on the weekend. And it was kind of, my mom made the main costumes. Our dog was in it, our car was in it, my great grandmother's quilt was on the bed in the Valley Lodge. You know, I mean, it's like, oh, check this out. This is so weird. I didn't realize it till just recently. I've had this all these years. This was in the film.
Get out. It's an actual prop from the film.
Yeah, Torgo carried it.
Yeah, you knew it.
I just like realized that about 3 months ago. I was looking around. I go, wait a minute. I've been carrying that around my whole life, you know? It's trippy.
I gotta say, Torgo's look though. Torgo's look was very fitting. It's very modern day for millennial though.
Actually, yeah, he would fit right in, wouldn't he?
Oh, no doubt. Yes.
Well, especially now that people, I mean, it's been such a weird world. You know, you go places and people just don't even bother to get out of their pajamas. I decided a couple of days ago that if your clothes aren't dirty, why change them every day? Nobody's going to notice. Nobody's looking at each other anymore, you know? It's a strange world. But I got to get back to that other story. So Manos disappears completely, and then I grew up remembering it and holding on to those memories because it was such a special time for me. And then I told my friends stories about this movie I was in with my dad through high school. That's how I kept it alive. And then 27 years go by, and by then I was the mother of a 3-year-old son living in Northern California, and my dad was living on the Oregon coast. And he called me one Sunday in January in 1993. It was 27 years later, and he said, "You'll never believe what I just saw on television." So that's how I found out that it existed in the world at all. And I had searched for it. I mean, this is pre-internet. Before then, and I had searched university libraries, and I called around film archives, and
they just wanted it gone.
Well, it was out there. I found out later that it did show in a few West Texas drive-ins, and it was like the last movie of 3 movies on a horror night, you know, when everybody was either asleep or in the back of the car, you know.
Did you know, like, could you tell at 6 years old or 7 years old when you saw it? Did you know, were you just excited to see your family and yourself on stage? And on the big screen?
Yeah. I mean, in the theater, I was really excited about it, but nobody told me that they were dubbing all the voices. So I'm sitting there all excited, waiting to see myself. And then I come on the screen and my mouth opens and this middle-aged woman's voice comes out, and I hear the whole audience start laughing. And I was so humiliated. I just started crying. I just cried through the whole thing. I was so embarrassed. Oh, it's awful.
But you must be able to laugh at it now, obviously.
Hey, I had justice. So a few years ago, I found out that there was this comedy stage production of Manos Hands of Fate being produced in Portland, Oregon, and I live just an hour and a half from there. And so I got a hold of the writer director and I said, I told him who I was. I said, I'd love to come see your show. Well, I got a hold of them early enough. They were so excited that they invited me to be part of it. And in fact, I think you can see it on YouTube. It's a stage production of Manos, the Hands of Fate in Portland. And there's actually more than one stage production of it. So, but this one they created my character Debbie as a doll, and they carried her around. And the Doberman in the movie was actually our family pet. That was our dog Shanka. And they made a cardboard and felt Doberman on little tiny wheels, and they'd roll him across the stage, and he'd fall down from time to time. And it was just so funny. It was a great play. And they invited me, and my voice was dubbed in the original film by a middle-aged woman because the whole film was shot silent. So everybody was dubbed. Some people got to do their own voices, but none of the women did. And so I was invited to come up. They put me in a little bed and breakfast for a couple weeks in Portland, which was really awesome. And I got to play my own voice. So I got to be in the sound booth and be the voice of the puppet on stage.
That's fantastic.
It was so cool.
Wow.
What a good way to see it come full circle.
Oh, yeah, that's justice. Oh, that's my kind of justice.
So I'm so glad that you've come full circle and you're able to just laugh at what it is. And like, I was so curious when you first saw it on Mystery Science Theater, was it offensive or were you able to laugh at it?
Well, like I said, I've been looking for it for all my life. By then I was like, 30 years old, 31 years old. And so my dad said, you'll never believe what I saw. He was a Mystery Science Theater fan. So it was Sunday and he was home from work, and it was a January rainy day as it is in Oregon in the winter. And he was just kind of napping and watching TV in his easy chair. And he heard the Torgo music, he heard something familiar, and he opened his eyes, and then he saw himself, and he was just like, he was in horrid fascination. And so he watched it, and then he called me after it was over, and it was on Comedy Central. So we had cable or whatever the hell it was back then. And so I immediately turned on the television, knowing that Comedy Central had this 800 number in the bottom corner. I didn't know what was going to happen. And this is Sunday. It's on a Sunday. So I just did so I called that number, and I actually got a human, which would never happen today, right? So I get this guy answers the phone, and I told him, he identified himself as Matthew. He said he was working in the HBO offices in Manhattan, and that's where he was answering the phone from. And I said, you just showed this movie that I've been looking for my whole life. My entire family was part of it. Is there any way I can get a copy? And he said, what's the name of the movie? And I told him, and there's this long pause where I thought maybe I was like shaking, I couldn't believe I was this close to this thing. And I thought maybe he hung up on me. And then he goes, oh my God, are you Debbie? I I mean, I looked at the phone. Am I dreaming? What the hell's going on? That was so weird. But then he said, so I have it here somewhere. I have that original VHS copy, bootleg copy. He just made me a copy and put it in the mail. And I have it, and I got it, and I watched it by myself. And I was just satisfied. I got what I wanted. I was happy. And then it started taking off. But when I talked to him on the phone, he said, I just had that on my desk the other day. Yeah, I'll send you a copy. And he said, that is our favorite bad movie here in the HBO offices.
That is excellent. Wow.
And that was long before he won a Turkey Award twice for being fan favorite. It's fascinating. When I got to meet Elvira a couple years ago, and she did it on her show. We were guests at the same convention in Seattle, Crypticon, and I got to meet her, and I mean, who would believe it? I just can't believe it.
You never would have guessed something you did when you were 6 years old has come to basically be your whole life.
And and you know how they say the master approves, or the master is with us always, and or in the film. But when I started getting involved in this, when it came out, and I started reaching out and meeting people and being invited to events and doing things and writing my book and all those things, I would always tell my dad about what was going on, and he's been involved in a few projects, anything I can talk him into, before he passed away, which actually was 5 years ago, just a couple days ago, I think on the 13th. He lived vicariously through me. He really enjoyed it. He got as much fun out of this thing as I do. I mean, my personal defense is I was just a kid. I wasn't responsible. It's not my fault, But my dad can kind of go along that line too, because he really was a good actor.
He just acted in it. I've done some crap movies myself.
Right? I mean, it happens. You can't.
Absolutely.
You have no control over the directing or the lighting or anything else. You have no control. But I mean, my dad, he played King Arthur in Camelot. He played R.P. McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in the Prime
He's done some legit roles.
Jean Brody. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Gordon Lowther in the Prime of Miss Jean Brody. He played lead roles almost always.
So he had a presence about him. You could tell that from the movie.
Yeah, he did. He was an amazing, humble, wonderful, sensitive human being. Yeah, that's anybody that met him just loved him. He was a really good man.
That's wonderful. So, and Aaron was telling me there's a reboot or a sequel, or
yeah, we made a sequel.
High praise.
Yeah, me and 3 other producers made a sequel 5 years ago, but it's out. It's on Amazon Prime. And,
I wanted to be able to watch it before I saw you, but I just didn't have a moment.
Oh, I get that.
I'm gonna have to make it a point.
Manos returns, and Rachel Jackson, Tanya Tomic, and I wrote it, and the 3 of us are also producers. Tanya directed it. She's done other films. Rachel Jackson was. Oh, and they also played 2 of our brides in the film, and I'm the master in this film. This is a storyline where Debbie grows up in this cult and then she becomes the master. So I'm not a pleasant human being in this film. But then we're working on another project, not the same group of people, but I'm working with another group on a series it was called the Debbie Chronicles, but we changed it to the Monos Chronicles to expand it a bit. But again, I'm the lead character, and in this case, Debbie escaped the Valley Lodge and hid out from them most of her life as she grew up. But now she's out battling evil in the world. And some of my co-stars and characters are some really cool people. And
That's
I
so
can't
great.
wait.
I could see that as a series on Shudder or something like that.
And Willow Polson, who's directed it and written it and is one of the, the main producer, is she's keeping it under wraps right now, but she's been looking for a distributor. So far, the cast and crew have seen a very rough cut, and I'm going to be flying down there to California to do some just little things, to fill it out. And we're hoping to have it out here in just the next couple months and get a distributor and find some money so that we can make some more episodes. It's really fun.
That is great. Hold on, I'm having a technical difficulty. Aaron, can you take over for just a moment?
I sure could. I was a huge fan of Monos Returns. Seeing you guys come back was a huge thrill for me, and I love hearing you talk about how the movie came together. And what I like to tell people is, if you read your book, what you get out of it is, yeah, it's this movie everybody makes fun of, but when you understand how it came together, you can say, okay, that made sense at the time. That was a reasonable decision. Monos Returns it's even better because you can tell everybody who went into it knew what they were doing. Yeah. They had an idea, and that's how it turned out.
Yeah, we had talented people, and we had people that truly were fans of the original, and there was no intention of making trying to make another bad movie. We did the best we could with everything we had and put that passion into it. And in a lot of the ways that we felt that people did the best they could with the first one too. I mean, nobody was trying to make a bad movie the first time either. That stuff happens. And Monos, by far, I will never argue with anybody, by far is not the worst movie.
No.
There's way worse movies.
And no doubt.
I can't tell you what it is that it has created such a fan following. I don't know myself, but like Frank, the Mads said years ago, he would never riff Monos again. And yet they're riffing it next month, December 14th. And they've invited me to be the special guest for their online show.
That is the coolest.
Oh, there you go. I'm so excited. I've been hearing from people connected with this that the feedback they're getting from fans is more than they've seen in any show this year. And that's my goal. Let's get the most viewers for this show than any other show that they've done. And why not?
I'm with you. I'm watching it. I'm already going to get my tickets later.
Good. Yeah, well, I'm watching. I'll be there.
December 14th. Don't forget.
Yes. Yeah. And it's online. You can wear your pajamas.
Always a plus.
Yeah, you were saying you don't like to have to change your clothes.
Except I do have a special outfit for that night.
Could it be a black and red one?
Yeah.
All right. No spoilers. Okay. That is so exciting. So you're working on the series now?
Yeah, we filmed the pilot episode a few months ago, and they've been doing all the editing, and it's just about ready. There's just a couple of things that they found that they'd like to put in there. So they're flying me down there, me and my other co-star for this episode. And while I'm there, they'll film some other things, some little teasers for the next show, and take advantage of my time in Yosemite. Beautiful place to be filming.
What a great place to film.
I know, right? Yeah.
God. Yeah, you've got the dream job right now.
I know. Let's just get some money in there. That'd be nice.
How are you funding it? Do you have a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter, or do you actually have producers who are backing?
Well, the Debbie Chronicles is funded through Kickstarter, and I believe Will is funding some other producers and such. But anybody that's into independent film knows that a lot of times you either don't get paid or it takes a while. So I'll just say I'm not in this for the money, but
No, you're in it
who
for love.
knows? I am. It's for the love of it. Yeah, this is my thing. It feeds my soul. I do other things for finances. I'm a professional artist. I teach painting classes and I sell my art. Oh, and I make master's robes.
That is the coolest. You have an Etsy channel, right? An Etsy.
Yes. Yeah, and I sent you all my
yeah.
There it is.
And there's the master.
Yeah, and then the master and dog painting. I recreated my dad's painting because my family did not get the painting or the robe back. My mother made the original robe, and she also taught me to sew. So I committed to making 100 custom-made master's robes, and I just shipped off number 28, 2 days ago? No, yeah. Oh, he just received it. I got a picture of him in it. That was so cute. Number 28. And I've made robes. I made one for a guy who was 6'8", who lived in England. And I made one for a very short woman. I think she was like 4'11". And so they're definitely custom. And now I'm making on the Etsy site hoodie scarves with the hands. And I just sent off a dog coat, a master's coat for a dog, a yellow lab. I can't wait to see her in it.
That is adorable. I love that you're able to still make a living off of your art and making and just manos. I think it's the coolest.
I've been a self-employed artist my whole life. I've had several businesses that I started from nothing just because, I mean, literally I'd wake up and I'd had a dream about something and I just do it.
I get those visions in my head or of something I'd love to see, and artists have told me you just get the vision in your head and you just make it. It's easier said than done. I can't do that. I don't have the gift.
Well, yeah, you know what? That's why I teach these painting classes, and I just did one last night, and I can't tell you what joy that gives me, because to see people come in and they start off being self-depreciating, they always make sure that we know, oh, I can't paint. I'm like, yeah, whatever. We're just here to play. It's like, there's no pressure here. And then I take them step by step, and everybody's painting is unique and amazing. And nearly always by the end, they say they're surprised at what they created. It's like it makes them happy, and that's what feeds me. People say they can't do it.
Do you do it live or online?
I'm working on that. Actually, yes. I'm working on that. I'm going to be doing some, I've done several small group online classes to practice, but I'm ready to do some bigger online classes because I know I have people around the world that wish they could attend my classes. But I'm working on a series of Mystery Science Theater related art, so we can do some 2-hour classes doing things like, Mystery Science Theater.
So many
great.
suggestions.
Oh, well, please send me ideas. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Pinterest, I'll tell you. So
The possibilities are
I'll say
limitless.
right now, send me the ideas.
Here's my list ready to go.
Okay. Okay.
Hold on one second. Somebody's been overhearing our conversation and wants to stop in.
Who's that?
TV's Frank is here.
Hey, hi, how is everybody?
Frank,
Hey,
thanks
Frank,
for
how you
being
doing
here.
there?
I'm good. How are you feeling, Jackie? Okay?
Oh, so much better. Just
good.
today, I mean, the world works in mysterious ways, manifestation. And
Mhm.
this whole thing, this whole health event is leading me towards being a much healthier person and better connected in the long run. So I just went to the aquatic center in the local town this morning for the first time with a friend, and I'm going to be doing that 3 times a week. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Going with the old people like my age, so there's
Mhm.
no like noisy children screaming around, and going to the therapy pool. And
Sounds great.
so
Were you under the
doing
weather,
good.
Jackie?
I had a car accident October 4th, and I had a cracked sternum and a cracked vertebrae. And, and I had 3 seizures. Apparently I had a seizure. I totaled my car. And we're still trying to figure that out, but I'm on medication, and I'm just
That's good. You look very healthy and you look good. So
Thank you.
Really?
glad to hear all that.
Thank you.
So
I'm really feeling better, especially in the last week.
Yeah. I had my own medical issues in the past few years, so I know.
I know you did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Long way
you
to
look
bounce
good
back.
too. You look great too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say that
Yay.
too, Frank. You look stunning.
Yes.
It's
Stunning.
my podcast look,
Yes, Frank, this is Aaron, the host of another podcast called The Hungry Trilobite, who's also a big Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, nice.
Good to see you, sir.
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Nice meeting you. We met a long time ago, actually.
Okay. I don't remember because I'm very shallow.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'm not very memorable.
Oh.
I don't know, Aaron, you kind of have a Marx Brothers look, though. I could see you put a harpo wig on you. I could see it.
Challenge accepted.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, here I have to tell you something. It's totally off subject. It's kind of. I don't even know if I should go there. Should I go there?
Go there.
Yeah, go there, go there.
So I did this podcast with a woman in England, and it's called Confidence Through Cabaret. And she's, like building confidence through dance. And she talks to people about what it is that makes them confident, what they're passionate about. Anyway, we went through this really wonderful podcast. And then the very last question she asked me was, if you could do a dance performance, what would you do? And before I even thought, it just came out of my mouth. I said, burlesque. And it turns out, I know the group of burlesque dancers in Portland. I know these women, and I've been to, and the way I know them is that they did a show once where one of the women was the master, and she did a performance in the master's robe.
Agent Manos Burlesque.
Yeah, right. I think I should.
Cool.
I don't know. But then I told this woman, Heather, I was like, bless you and curse you. All I need is another idea, another direction to go. I'm like the ADD. My art and everything just I get an idea and I just run off in another direction. So.
Look, it sounds like you're covering all the mediums for Manos. You got the sequel. You're doing a series. You have art, and now you're doing a burlesque.
I mean, what's left? Well, don't tell me, because then I'll be thinking about it. Don't tell me.
Have you? I was going to say musical production, but
We
No,
already did
that's
that.
been done.
you're right. They have them.
Done.
Oh, you did the
Yeah.
play.
Animated
I did
series.
the play. Has there been? Oh yeah, there is on Gravity Falls or something. There is something. I mean, Manos has been on several shows.
Oh, it
How I
was
Met
on
Your
a
Mother.
show. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it was,
Elementary.
it might have been Elementary, or someone sent me a clip from it, but it was a while ago, so I don't remember what it was. But there was something. It showed up somewhere like that.
There's a number of shows. How I Met Your Mother, Elementary. It was in a whole scene about, about mugshots and it being Torgo. It was just really trippy.
Like we were saying, that Torgo would fit in well in the millennial culture with that look. I think if you walk down any street in Philadelphia or New York, you see a lot of Torgos.
You know, I got a couple Torgo hats, and I'm an Oregonian now, so we don't believe in umbrellas apparently. And so when I'm out walking, I'm thinking that's a good hat to wear. When it's raining.
Manos was a hipster before it was, ahead of his time. He had a total hipster look to him. The beard, hat, and the slow walking,
the acid.
This is the guy who wants some craft beer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he was the original.
Yeah, very much so.
And Frank, you're doing another. We were just promoting it, December 14th. You're coming back.
Yes, and Jackey will be our guest, which we're very excited about, and our fans are very excited about that. And it's we wanted to do a special Christmas show, and we felt like all the Christmas movies have been, the riffed and everything, and even though Manos has been riffed by a few people, Riff Tracks and Mystery Science Theater, and other people have done their own riffs of it, but we thought as a special Christmas. As a dark Christmas treat, we do our all new riff of Manos.
That is beautiful.
And as I recall, you did say at some point that you would never do this movie again.
Yeah, well, I think Trace has said that.
You're blaming it on Trace. Okay.
Yeah, Trace, but Trace, he really didn't want to go back there again. But Chris Gershbeck and I convinced him to hop on.
Oh, that's very sweet.
And he knows how much our fans are like it, so that influenced his decision.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Have you ever, when you're doing these live riffs, have you ever come up with a riff on the spot?
Sometimes, I think, if you see us live or if you see us doing our virtual shows, oftentimes you'll hear me laugh at something Trace says, and a lot of times it's just the way Trace delivers a line will make me laugh. But other times it's a line he came up with on the spot, and I do that sometimes too. But Traces are memorable to me because they make me laugh. And when we were on the road and we could do like a movie like Ed Wood's Glen or Glenda, like over and over again. We did it many times. We would keep coming up with new riffs as we did them, So when we get back on the road, if we do, hopefully at some point, we'll do some of these films that we've done as virtual shows. We'll do them live, and we'll do them a few times, and we'll probably come up with new riffs for them.
That is so cool. Right.
But we start with a script, though. We always make sure we don't just. I have done improvised. I've done completely improvised riffs, and those can be really fun. In fact, I may be breaking news here, but we're going to be doing a riff at the San Francisco Sketch Fest in January, January 23rd. It's going to be me, Jonah Ray, Mary Jo Peele, Bill Corbett, Kevin Murphy.
Wow.
Wow.
And I don't know what movie it's going to be, but it's going to be like a completely improvised. And Josh Weinstein's going to be there too. I don't want to forget.
So this is going to be live, not virtual, too.
No, it's not going to be virtual. Maybe they'll stream it. I don't know. Like, I think it's a rule now. Everything has to be streamed when you do it. But but I think it's as of right now, it's just a live show that's going to happen in San Francisco. But that will be an improvised trip. But when Trace and I do our shows, and with Mystery Science Theater too, like, we always like to start with prepared with a script, you know.
Yeah, naturally.
Anybody
Even with stand-up.
I'll say, if geography's working against you, you're begging for that stream.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people have gotten used to that, and that's been the great thing about the shows Trace and I have done, is that when we were doing our live shows, you know, people could only see us in that particular region, you know, but now people all over the country get to see us, and it's a really good thing. But I hope we go back to doing the live shows, because I don't like to travel, but I love it when we get to perform in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Oh, the energy is so exhilarating as opposed to a Zoom show.
I was talking with Jason when we were together and on our last podcast, and just saying that the old CT shows, the feeling of community when people were getting together in the dark times, there was no riff tracks or MST3K. It was refreshing. It was great.
Yeah, there was a great energy at the Cinematic Titanic shows. And when Trace and I have done the Riff Tracks live shows in Minneapolis, we've done a couple of those, and those are just electric is the word for it, you know. I don't often it's been rare in my life as a performer that I perform in front of 3,000 people, but that happened with Riff Tracks in the reunion show that Joel was at and everybody was at. So yeah, that's just a really fun thing when that happens.
Yeah. Wow.
Jackey, do you see yourself doing any theater as well, like your dad?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's like, well, yeah, you know, the stage production of Monos.
Oh, that's right. You did.
But I mean, I'm just open to so many different things. Like I was talking about the burlesque idea. You know, I've met people in so many different directions over the years, and I'm interested in so many different things that I'm open. I've been a self-employed artist my whole life, and my main businesses, at least 3 of my businesses, have been very successful. I raised my children as a single mother doing faux finish, high-end faux finish that I taught myself from scratch. You know, I used to say I'm getting paid to exercise, climbing scaffolding and hauling ladders and 5-gallon buckets of paint around. And so I'm just open. I just love new ideas. And when people throw them out there, I have to think about it. And then I just figure, you know, none of us gets out of here alive. So you better just live it while you got the chance.
See, that puts a lot of pressure on me, because then I think I'm going to die soon. I have to accomplish things. Crap.
It is pressure. No. But it helps get you out of bed.
That's the wrong way to look at it. Yeah.
I make a point of watching TV shows where characters are living their life to the fullest.
Yeah.
That's one way to go.
That's right. Yeah. That's inspirational.
Well, listen, we're coming upon that hour. Real quick, Aaron, you want to plug your Hungry Trilobite?
Absolutely. Hungry Trilobite is at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. Any place you can get a podcast, I'm probably putting it there.
Excellent. And Jackey?
Yeah, I gave you my links to my Etsy page and my Debbie's Monos Facebook page, and I'm working on a website. So I've got the link there. Hopefully that'll be up this week because I do so many different things that it'd be nice to put them all into one place.
The Linktree thing really helps for that.
I'm learning. I
have like look at that.
Oh, I'm making those again, and then the dog coats. So get your dog or your kitty your little master needs a coat, right?
If I could get my cat to wear a coat, that would be amazing.
Have you tried?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
I'll tell you, with my cat, that ain't happening.
No, yeah.
Well, you know.
Frank, did you see Jackie's kitten?
Oh, did you meet Misty? Oh, come here, Misty.
Kitty.
Oh, kitty.
Oh, there she is.
Oh,
It's a beautiful color.
yeah.
The fans helped me name her, Frank. She's just 6 months old. She's named Misty.
Oh, Misty, nice.
Mstie. That's how we spell it.
Beautiful.
She's a sweetheart.
And Frank, you're December 14th.
Yes, and also I should point out that this Saturday, I believe, we're rebroadcasting our previous live stream of our Night of Shorts that we did, where our special guest star was Svengoolie. So people want to check that out.
Where can we find that?
You can get it at eventbrite.com. You can get tickets, and it's this Saturday at 10 p.m. We're starting to rerun our shows once a month. In addition to we do a brand new show every month, and then we rerun one of our old shows every month too.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Shorts are my favorites. Besides Manos, I love the shorts.
Yeah. Those are really fun.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for being part of this. Frank, I really appreciate you popping in.
Thanks for asking me. My pleasure.
Of course,
Yeah, me
Jackey,
too.
Light, and Aaron, you guys
Thank
are
you.
fantastic.
It's been wonderful.
Thank
you so
again.
much.
We'll see you all soon. Take
You
care.
got it. Take
See
care,
ya.
guys.
See you next
Thank
month,
you.
Frank.
Yes, absolutely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.